So we will discuss this. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Vishnu Bhat Paramhamsa Parivraj Kacharya Stottara Sata Sri Srimad Tridhani Goswami Abhay Charan Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai All glories to the assembled devotees Nitai Gaur Pramanande Jai Shri Shri Guru Garanga Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. Here we are coming to this beautiful verse from Madhya Lila, chapter 20, text 58. We have a very important topic of Srila Rupa Goswami in this chapter, and Sanatana Goswami. This is about Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Shiksha, which will later be explained in detail in Rupa Goswami's books, teachings by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sri Sanatana Goswami. So these are our six Goswamis. Six Goswamis of Vrindavan, famous six Goswamis in Vrindavan. So who are the six Goswamis of Vrindavan? Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, who? Raghunath Das Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Gopal Bhada Goswami, and Raghunath Bhada Goswami. Yes. Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunatha Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha Chai Gurur Karan Charanavandan Jahoite Vignanash Abhishta Puran. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita says that anybody who offers respects to these six gurus will remove all obstacles on your path. If you have any obstacles on your path, they will be removed just by offering obeisances to the six Goswamis, and you will have your desires fulfilled. Abhishta Puran. If you have some high goals, your goals will be attained. You will attain your goals by offering respects to these six gurus, says Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So that's all closely connected. The six Goswamis are our acharyas, and they are our gurus. And so this verse is from the story of Sanatana Goswami. This is the story of Sanatana Goswami, but the teachings will be explained in Rupa Goswami's, they are two brothers, books, and also we will speak about Raghunath Das Goswami. So I was thinking how to connect all of this, and I will tell you about it shortly. Maybe you can also guess. Maybe you can start thinking which topic could unite all of these six Goswamis and this verse. So let us chant this verse. Name Bhaktash Chatur Vedi Mad Bhakta Shapacha Priya Tasmai Deyam Tato Grahyam Sacha Pujyo Yatahyaham Name Bhaktash Chatur Vedi Mad Bhakta Shapacha Priya Tasmai Deyam Tato Grahyam Sacha Pujyo Yatahyaham. Somebody else would like to read? Name Bhaktash Chatur Vedi Bhakta Swapacha Priyam Tasmai Deyam Tato Grahyam Sacha Pujyo Yatahyaham. Name Bhaktash Chatur Vedi Mad Bhakta Swapacha Priya Tasmai Deyam Tato Griham Sacha Pujyo Yatahiham. Ladies, please. Name Bhaktas Chaturvedi. Bhaktas Sapachakriya. Sacha Pujyo Yatahiham. Name Bhaktas Chaturvedi. Madhya 20:58. Madhya 20. Okay, word for word. Na, not, me, my, abhakta, devoid of pure devotional service. Chaturvedi, a scholar in the four Vedas. Madbhakta, my devotee. Swapacha, even from a family of dog eaters. Priya, very dear. Tasmai, to him, a pure devotee. Even though born in a very low family. Deyam, should be given. Tata, from him. Grahyam, should be accepted. Remnants of food. Sa, that person. Cha, also. Puja, worshipable. Yatha, as much as. He, certainly. Aham, I. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Even though a person is a very learned scholar of the Sanskrit Vedic literatures, he is not accepted as my devotee unless he is pure in devotional service. However, even though a person is born in a family of dog eaters, he is very dear to me if he is a pure devotee who has no motive to enjoy fruitive activity or mental speculation. Indeed, all respects should be given to him, and whatever he offers should be accepted. Such devotees are as worshipable as I am. So Prabhupada says, this verse is included in the Hari Bhakti Vilas 10.127 compiled by Sanatana Goswami. And I will read also the next verse from the Bhagavatam. This is Prahlad Maharaja's teachings, 7, 9, 10. Is that one? Yeah? Okay. So that's Prahlad Maharaj describing also who is dear to Krishna, to Nrisimha. Vipradvishad gunayutad aravindana bhapadaravindha vimukhat swapacham varishtam manyetadarpita mano vachane hitartha pranam punati sakulam natu bhurimana. One may be born in a Brahmana family and have all 12 Brahminical qualities, but if he is not devoted to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, who has a navel shaped like a lotus, he is not as good as a Chandala is a dog eater, who has dedicated his mind, words, activities, wealth and life to the service of the Lord. Simply to take birth in a Brahmana family or to have Brahminical qualities is not sufficient. One must become a pure devotee of the Lord. If a Shvapacha or Chandala is a devotee, he delivers not only himself, but his whole family. Whereas a Brahmana who is not a devotee, but simply has Brahminical qualifications, cannot even purify himself, not to speak of his family. And there is a nice purport with different lists of Brahminical qualities. So this is, Prabhupada says, this verse is spoken by Prahlad Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam 7, 9, 10. And then there is a quote from the Mahabharata about the 12 qualities of a Brahmana. Anybody knows the 12 qualities of a Brahmana? Cleanliness, peacefulness. That's six activities. It's something is there, like being learned. It's austerity, forgiveness. That's definitely in the Gita. Is it here? Let me see. There is tolerance. Okay. Yes. Truthfulness. Yes, it's very famous. Self-control. Yes, self-control. Knowledge and realized knowledge. That sounds like the Gita list. So the Gita list, you know, yeah? Shamo dhamma stapa shaucham kshantirarjavam evacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma sabhavajam. These are the 9 qualities from the Gita. Yeah, this is Shamo, mental equilibrium, Prabhupada says, or mind control or peacefulness. Dhamma is self-control or sense control. Tapa, austerity. Shaucham, cleanliness. Kshama, forgiveness or tolerance. What did we hear here? Yeah, we should give more than you get. I heard yesterday from Akila, we should give more than you get. Yes. And forgive also. Give and forgive. Yes. Then simplicity, or, so this is arjava. Arjava, simplicity or honesty, integrity. Virak, kshantya, this is from, okay, that's kshantya rajam, jnanam. Jnanam, knowledge, vijnanam, wisdom, and astikya, religiousness. Religiousness is translated from the word asti. Asti in Sanskrit means is. Isness. What is? That Krishna is, reality is, Veda is there. So that's religiousness. Whereas Gnostic says, no, it is not. Nothing is there. It's like Shunyavada or Mayavada. There's no truth, no reality, no God, no Veda, nothing is there. That's irreligiousness. Religiousness, when you accept that the reality of reality. Okay. The 12 qualities from the Mahabharata is dharma, also religiousness. Satyam, everybody knows, truthfulness. Is this the slogan of motto of India? Satyam eva jayate? On the parliament building, yeah? Satyam eva jayate. But it's also, I think, on like the main logo of India, right? As Satyam eva jayate. Truth will prevail. Yeah, will win, yes. Dhamma, again, Dhamma is self-control or sense control. Tapa, you know, what you did yesterday. Still doing? Right? Okay. Amatsarya. Amatsarya, not being envious. Hri. Hri being modest or humble. Modest or humble. Hri. Modest, wie sagt man das auf Deutsch? Modest. Bescheiden, okay. Yes, thank you. Titiksha, tolerant. And then detached yagya expert in performing sacrifices. So I think here we have every kind of yagya expertise. We have the fire yagyas, as you could see yesterday. We have the fire yagya accompanied by the Sankirtan yagya, by the Harinam yagya, by the Bhagavatam yagya, by every kind of yagya. Yes, these are all yagyas. Dana, charity. Dhriti is being fixed, being steady, and Shrutam is being learned. Learned through hearing. You have heard enough so that you know. So these are the 12 qualities of a Brahmana given in the Mahabharata. Prabhupada quotes them here, and Srila Prabhupada quotes them also. And it's very interesting that these qualities in Sanskrit are called vratani. Vrata. They're not called qualities, they're called vratas. Vrata, you may know what is vrata. Vrata is a vow. So they are called the 12 vows. Yeah? So you take a vow that I am forgiving, I am non-envious. So then I see somebody, something that I feel envious. Oh, and I say, no. I took a vow. No. So they are all practices. They are all certain practices. So, are these nice qualities? Are these nice qualities? Do you like these qualities? Is it good if a devotee has them? Yes. What's the difference between these two lists? You can see, because there are many good qualities, and the more the merrier. The more good qualities, the better. And in one place, one will be emphasized, in the other, slightly other. They're all connected. Jai Shri Prahlad Nrsimhadev ki jai. Shri Lakshmi Nrsimhadev ki jai. They will be slightly different, depending on the emphasis. Like also, another list is given here. Santosha is added, satisfaction. It's also a very important quality, being satisfied. But you will see that most of them are very similar. The majority are very similar. Okay, so these are 12 qualities, and they are nice, right? They are very nice, these qualities. But the text says, even if somebody has all these, so who is inspired to hear about these qualities? Who is a little sad when you hear these qualities? Yeah, so inspired, it's nice if we hear that, okay, these are some practices, especially if you know how to practice these qualities. But often also if we hear that this is the quality, that is the quality, we may feel, oh, I don't have these qualities. I don't have these qualities. So we may feel, oh, when will I have these qualities? When will I be clean inside my heart? When will I be completely tolerant? When will I be humble? Yes. When this day will be mine? Kabe have volosei dinamar. When this day will come. So no worries, because these two verses are saying that even if somebody has all these qualities, one has all these qualities, but is not fixed on the path of bhakti, Krishna says, well, it's not so important to me. Such a person is not very dear to me. I mean, he's not. It's nice, but just being a perfect Brahmana doesn't make this person very dear to me. So good qualities, but without bhakti, not enough. On the other hand, somebody has practically hardly any good qualities or no good qualities, but is very serious about being a devotee. Krishna says, even if he's a dog eater, I hope if anyone was a dog eater, at most it was a hot dog eater, I hope. So Krishna says, even if you're a hot dog eater or whatever, if you are serious about bhakti, if your goal is pure, and if your faith is pure, your goal is pure bhakti, and your practice is pure bhakti. Krishna says, you are very, very dear to me. You are so dear to me that you should be respected, Krishna says, as I, as Krishna, and everything you give should be taken, and everything you do is, everything you do is very nice, Krishna says. I like it. So I would say that this topic, this story of Sanatana Goswami and Krishna telling him this, because this is a very interesting story how they meet, you may know, Sanatana Goswami and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and also Raghunath Das Goswami's story connected to today's Panihati Chida Dahi Mahotsava. I think they are connected to one common topic. What would you say is one common topic between this story of Sanatana Goswami and also Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami? Do you think there is something? Renounce wealth. Yes, they renounce wealth. Okay, what else? Raghunath Das Goswami was fabulously wealthy. Also Sanatana and Rupa, they were fabulously wealthy. When they retired, they had a boatload of gold. So they had, I don't know, modern consideration, millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, they were not completely from Brahmana background.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
Sanatana and Rupa, they were a part of the Nawab Hussain Shah's Muslim government ruling in Bengal, and therefore by this very strict standards, they were sort of double or triple. They had a double or triple disqualification. They took a job. They took a job in the government, and they took a job in a Muslim government oppressing, like he was attacking, Sanatana Goswami renounced just before Nawab Hussain Shah wanted to attack Jagannath Puri. And maybe, there were some attacks when Lord Jagannath was, also there was some attacks on Lord Jagannath and on the devotees there and so forth. So, strictly speaking, when they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they said, we are very disqualified. Of course, in the modern consideration, anyway, this is an important topic. Tomorrow we begin our Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction in the morning, Rupa Goswami's book. So we discuss a little bit about Rupa and Sanatana. So they were in the modern sense, they were on the top of the world. Yes, everything modern people desire. They had money, they had power. Sanatana Goswami was the prime minister. Not even the president, but the prime minister. Rupa Goswami was, Nabil Kas was like the secretary of state, and he was in charge of finance. So they had power. What people nowadays spend their whole life to be elected as a prime minister or something, yes? Or chancellor, right? Here we have the chancellor is the corresponding post. In India, also prime minister is more important than the president. So Sanatana Goswami was that, and this was in Bengal, which was the fabulous land of, that was the, I don't know what, the America or Germany of the 15th century. Yes, when Columbus went to search, when Columbus discovered America, he was actually searching for India, because India was the land of fabulous riches, of gold and health. I'm sorry to say, but in Europe, it was considered a sin to take a bath. Yes, and even washing hands was considered somewhat. We know the sponsor of Columbus. What was her? Queen Isabella, her name was? she took bath two times in her life. Once when she was baptized after birth, and once, I think, before marriage. Happily for her husband, I guess. So therefore, I mean, these are historic facts. You can read. Even today, some Christians consider that taking bath, like on Sunday, is a sin. Like Orthodox Church, Sunday, what did I say? Sunday or some, taking bath or washing, they consider is sinful. For us, it's inconceivable. But you can imagine what kind of health they had. So at 30 years of age, they were looking like today, 80-year-old people look. At 30, they were like 80-old-year people. They were sick and toothless and everything. So some authors describe that when they arrived in India, the first people who came to India, they saw everybody is taking bath 2-3 times a day. Yeah. I remember when I first came to Kolkata, it was early morning, like 6 o'clock, and we were driving from the airport, and then I see people who live in the street, near the pumps, water pumps, and I saw them full of soap foam, like taking soap and lathering themselves, lathering themselves with soap and lots of foam, and under the pump, that's their first bath in the morning, like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. So these are these dog eaters living in the street or whatever, right? That was the first bath in the morning. So everybody in India, everybody takes bath 2-3 times a day. Right? That's like, and not just any bath, just a really thorough bath. Like I remember when my sister gave me one book. I forgot the author, but it was Adam Zawsze Młody. This was my sister thought I should be a good man, so she gave me a book how to be a good Adam. Yes, and it said there that according to the Geneva Institute of Hygiene, the clean person is somebody who takes bath at least once a day with soap. So I thought, okay. Also, my grandfather taught me to take bath at least half with cold water, and this was full with soap. So I started doing it, and I remember it was in the 70s or 80s. It was rare. If you investigate, like 50, 60 years ago, taking bath once a week was the norm. The standard, once a week. Maybe sometimes once a month. It's true. It's not like fairy tales. That's true. Once a month, once a week. That was normal. Nowadays, you can see that it's perfectly normal to take every day several baths. It's like completely normal. So sattvic standards are increasing. So anyway, when the first Europeans came to India, they thought they are in heaven. So clean, no bad smell. People are clean. Everything is clean. Fruits, the greenery, everything. So they were very inspired, and riches were there. The economy had not been broken yet by the British Empire and by even Muslim rulers didn't break the economy. It was the British taxes that broke the Indian economy, and then it became, and also so much gold was taken out from India. But at that time, Bengal was the most desired place in the world. So in the most opulent place, in the most opulent kingdom, Sanatana and Rupa were the prime minister and the minister of finance. And they were famous before. Rupa Goswami wrote his Hamsadutta before he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was already a famous poet who wrote a very beautiful poem about Radha Krishna. A very esoteric Hamsadutta poem about Radha Krishna. So they were aristocratic, they were famous, they were powerful, they were wealthy, they had everything imaginable in this world. But they gave it all up. So here we have the story of Sanatana Goswami. Rupa Goswami just renounced, and Sanatana Goswami wanted to renounce, and Nawab got angry and he threw him in jail. And then we know this far out story how he went talking to the jail keeper. He said, "Oh Prabhu, you remember I was the prime minister, you remember I was kind to you, right? So can you return this kindness a little bit? I will I will also, I have some money. I have 5,000 coins, golden coins. So I want to give them to you. Of course, you don't need these 5,000 coins, but you will get a special credit because I want to go to Mecca. I want to go to Mecca, right? I want to go on a pilgrimage, and you get pious credits. You'll get piety, and don't worry about Nawab. You can say that you took me to pass stool, and I jumped into the Ganga, and in shackles, in chains, I just drowned. So you will not be punished. You will get piety for helping me go to Mecca, and plus, this small matter of 5,000 golden coins is also there. That's little bonus, 5,000 golden coins. So he was released, and then we hear how he crossed the mountains, and he came to Varanasi to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it was Chandrasekharacharya's home, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells Chandrasekharacharya, go bring my devotee, he must be somewhere near already. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew. Without WhatsApp, without Telegram, without Facebook, he knew that Sanatana Goswami is already here. Somehow, the heart-to-heart networking. And Chandrasekharacharya comes out and he says, I don't see any devotees there. And he says, is there anybody? Bring whoever is there. If you don't see a devotee, if somebody is there. So he brings up, he says, there is one Darvish, I don't know what's the Darvish they say. It means some Muslim mendicant, monk. Because Sanatana Goswami had a beard and long hair, not very, he didn't go to a friseur, didn't go to a hairdresser, to a salon. He just had some hair, long, maybe matted. So Chandrasekharacharya says, there is some Daravesh there. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes out, and this is a very beautiful picture, how he embraces Sanatana Goswami and Sanatan. He embraces Sanatan, and he says, oh, so wonderful, you're here, and this is such a beautiful, very heart-touching story. And then we hear these verses, that just by touching you, we get the perfection of life. Seeing you is the perfection of life. And if you are very sad that you have been you were forced to be the prime minister in such an oppressive government of violence, meat eating and attacking the devotees. So don't worry, you are very dear to me. So I would say what unites the stories of all the Goswamis is the message of hope. That whether you are wealthy or you are poor, whether you are high-ranked or low-ranked, whether you have all the qualities or none of the qualities, what is important is devotional service. And devotional service also, you may say, especially we have been trained. You may remember there was one devotee in Munich. Every time he would come every evening to do the Gaurarati. He got initiated as Chakrapani, I think. Chakrapani, right? Chakra something. And whenever you would tell him that you're such a nice devotee, he would say, I'm not a devotee. I'm chanting, I'm singing, I'm coming to the temple, but I'm not a devotee, right? I'm just doing everything, I'm trying to serve, but I'm not a devotee. So we sometimes think I'm not a devotee. Who is a devotee? So that's a separate point, that if we want to be a devotee and if we put our faith in bhakti, then this is the definition of being devotional. So Raghunath Das Goswami also was very sad. He was super wealthy. He was getting millions and millions of golden coins every month. Nityananda Prabhu says that his standard of enjoyment was higher than Indra's enjoyment. The king of heaven, king of the heavenly planets, Indra. He said that Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Das at that time, is enjoying more He has more wealth, he has more pleasure and more of everything. And he really has got it made. That was not a Brahminical family. I understand that was technically the Shudra family, right? And his parents kept him sort of almost in prison, under guard. They didn't let him go away. And today, this is a very famous story, how he came to the Panihati, to the village of Panihati, and Nityananda Prabhu was there, and Raghunath Das Goswami stood somewhere in the back, and some servant told Nityananda Prabhu that oh, there is Raghunath Das, he's standing there in the back, offering obeisances there in the back. So Nityananda Prabhu said, oh, there is that thief. There is a thief here. Why he is a thief? He is hiding there in the back. Yes, so I shall punish him. Come here, I will punish you. So would you like to be punished by God? I don't know, punishment doesn't sound like something very attractive. How about, I don't know, punishment? So Nityananda Prabhu says, come here, I will punish you. And he gave him 2 punishments. What 2 punishments he gave him? Make the feast? Yes. He said, bow down here. And he put his foot on the head. Right? So would you like to be punished like this? Yeah, it's such a nice punishment to get the lotus foot of Nityananda Prabhu on your head, right? So it's a little humorous. So it says that Nityananda Prabhu is very humorous and very merciful. Very humorous and very merciful. So that was the punishment that Nityananda Prabhu gave to Raghunath Das Goswami. He said that time will come and you will join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, go home, don't be a monkey renunciate. You know what's a monkey renunciate? Have you seen the macaques in Vrindavan? So if you hold a stick in Vrindavan, if you have a banana and a stick, big stick in Vrindavan, then if you look at the monkey, he looks so renounced. He looks like, no, I have no. He looks like this, like completely detached. Completely detached. Have you seen? He looks so detached. Did you see? It's like true renunciation on his face. Like half closed eyes, like I'm not even looking, No. Who? This? No. I have no interest. Not that I hold myself, it's not that I'm controlling myself. I'm not interested. No interest. And then who lost a banana to a monkey in Vrindavan, or some fruits or glasses, or a phone, or your bead bag or something, yeah? As soon as you turn away, this super renounced monk, he was so renounced. And then you don't look, and then if you have it in a bag or something, he jumps and he takes it all away. So that's called Markata Vairagya, or monkey renunciation. Yeah? When they look at him, he's renounced. When you don't look at him, all your bananas gone, finished. and then 2 bananas in the mouth, 2 bananas in 2 hands, 1 banana in the foot, and he's jumping, running away with your food. Right? So he says, don't be a renunciate like this. Go enjoy. He said, and then Krishna will give you a sign when is the time to renounce. But for now, Nityananda Prabhu gave him the second punishment. The second punishment was, he said, okay, I have to punish you, and the punishment is you have to sponsor a huge feast for all the devotees. All my devotees, for me and all my devotees. I am a cowherd boy, and I like picnics. I like picnics on the riverbank. In fact, this is the blessing at the end of, exact verse at the end of chapter 13 and 14 in the 10th canto. Whoever, Shadvala Jaya Manamcha, whoever remembers Krishna's picnic on the Yamuna bank, sandy bank of the Yamuna, will become free, and all his desires, all your desires will be fulfilled. If you just remember Krishna's picnic with the cowherd boys. So Nityananda Prabhu says, I like picnics. So you have to make a feast with, sweet rice, sweet yogurt, sweet condensed milk, and fruits, and feed everybody here. So, Raghunath Das Goswami had more wealth that he could think what to do with. It's like, you can see that some rich people, like you may have heard, there is a, what's it called? The Giving Pledge. The Giving Pledge. The club of wealthy people, who is like Warren Buffett, I think, is one of them, and they take a vow. It was founded somewhere not so long ago, maybe 15 or 20 years ago. They take a vow that they will, before they die, they give away at least 50% of their wealth. Because, if you have billions, what do you do with this? I mean, how can you spend it? Unless you're crazy, some crazy dictator. What will you do with this money? So some of them live in a rather, simple house, but still 50%. It's very interesting because the only place where I read about 50% is our books. Where else does it speak about 50%? In the Christian books, I think it says 10%, right? That's the norm. 50%, that's also only Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, and Prabhupada's Easy Journey to the Other Planets. He says that if somebody gives away 50%, they go to the higher planets. Anyway, so there's like 200 rich people, and they try to give away for some whatever. They try to find where to give, and the difficulty is how to give that it's used and not stolen or wasted. So that's the difficulty. So Raghunath Das Goswami had so much wealth. He was a multi-billionaire in the modern terms. So usually, and how do you spend? Okay, you build temples, you do this, you do that. So if Nityananda Prabhu comes and he says, "Oh, I have an idea how you can spend, how you can spend a big amount of money. Do this." You're happy. So Raghunath Das Goswami was very happy. So he sent his secretaries, and he bought all the pots, he bought all the bananas, all the yogurt, and all the sweet condensed milk in this village, and then he sent, when it was all bought here in Panihati, he sent, and it was also bought from all the surrounding villages. So they were going and collecting everything from all the villages. All the bananas, all the yogurt, all the sugar, I don't know if all or not all, but a lot of sugar, and condensed milk. And then there were, it says that like 400 pots were there for all the devotees, and there were big pots for Nityananda Prabhu. It says 7 big pots, huge pots where it was mixed for Nityananda Prabhu, and everybody got 2 pots. One pot with yogurt, fruit yogurt rice. Chira is this flat rice, the traveler's food. Yeah, you can just mix, and it's ready to eat. It's like flat, squashed rice. I don't know if it's cooked already. Yeah, they were also cooking it. And the other one was with the condensed milk. Do you like condensed milk? Sweet condensed milk? So both were there. Milk and yogurt. And everybody would get 2 pots. And they were sitting around Nityananda Prabhu closely, further. And there were so many people that not everybody fit on the bank. Some of them had to go in the river. Some of them were sitting in the Ganga. So many people were there. And they were eating there. It's almost like, Simhachalam Nrisimha Chaturdashi. Yeah, sometimes you can, like, you almost need like the crab eyes, like these lobster eyes, because you can hardly, stick your head inside and see. I see Nrisimha. But everybody's happy. In Vrindavan, they say that looking at the back of the head of the people getting darshan is as pious as getting the darshan. Because I think for ladies, I mean, whoever is trying to get into the room in Kartik in Vrindavan, you also can't get into the temple. So many people sometimes that you can't enter. So there were plenty of people, and Nityananda Prabhu ate happily. He was joking and roaring, and then there was a big kirtan. And first Nityananda Prabhu said, "Dance, dance." And then he himself would start jumping and dancing, and there was such a kirtan and such dancing that, what happened? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared and also was dancing. And some people could see him. So it was such a kirtan and such dancing that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested there also. There were several places that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would join in the kirtan. So that was one of such occasions that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared and danced in the kirtan. So Nityananda Prabhu, and after eating, Nityananda Prabhu, it says, washed his hand and mouth, and then he fed Raghunath Das Goswami. Would you like to be fed by Raghunath, by Nityananda Prabhu himself from his pot? He would feed you. You know, it's such a sweet punishment. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that whoever hears, whoever reads, or whoever hears about this story will definitely attain Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. So sorry or congratulations, whatever applies. You have heard, you have, I don't know if you have read, but you have heard, you have remembered this festival of yogurt. Then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that you already have a place at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's feet. And if you feel, oh, who am I? Oh, how is it possible? Then this is the blessing. Again and again, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Vrindavan Das Thakur, they say that anybody who hears, anybody who remembers, anybody who reads, whether you are pious or a materialist, they say, whether you are devotional or non-devotional, you will attain the lotus feet of Nityananda and Chaitanya. So these stories are so powerful, the stories of Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu. And if you think about the qualities, so this verse says, if you have all good qualities, but you reject bhakti, then Krishna says, I don't care. I don't care about your money, I don't care about your position, I don't care about your even good qualities, even Brahminical qualities. But if you like devotional service, if you accept bhakti, if you want bhakti as the goal, if you want bhakti as your path, and that's the definition of pure bhakti. Bhakti is the goal, bhakti is the process. Then Krishna says, you are very, very dear to me. You are very, very dear to Krishna. You are very, very dear to Chaitanya and Nityananda. So there is a beautiful verse in Hari Bhakti Vilas by Sanatana Goswami. It's a verse describing how to be dear, how to become Krishna's darling. So that's a verse, this is quoted also in Padyavali, verse 8. Vyadhasya charanam druvasya chavayo vidya gajendrasya ka kubjaya kimunam rupamadikam kim tatsudam nodhanam vamsha ko vidurasya yadavapater ugrasya kim paurusham bhaktya tusyati kevalam nachagunair bhakti priyo madhava. So Sanatana Goswami says, where was the good behavior, acharanam, of the hunter dharma? So there is a famous hunter who didn't behave, he was a hunter, so he was a cruel person. He was a hunter. But somehow he met devotees, he decided to become a devotee, so he attained ecstatic love for Krishna. Where was the mature age of Dhruva? At what age did Dhruva get darshan of Krishna? 5 or 6, yes. So where was the mature age of Dhruva? Vidya Gajendrasya ka. Where was the great education of elephant Gajendra? He was an elephant. He didn't. He never got his PhD. He didn't have this PhD hat. Sorry, no diploma. But did he meet Krishna? By what? How did he meet Krishna? Praying. Kubjaya kimunama rupamadikam. Where was the great beauty of the hunchback Kubja? Where was the great wealth of the poor Brahmana Sudama? Yeah, that's about them, that they had one dhoti sari for him and his wife, right? They couldn't live at the same time. They had to live in turns. Vamshako Vidurasya. Where was the great aristocratic position of Vidura? So he was considered not the king, not the prince. He was considered like of lesser birth. So Duryodhana was insulting Vidura because of this. So where was the great aristocratic position of Vidura? Where was the great Ugrasya Kim Paurusham? Where was the great courage and military strength of Ugrasena, Kamsa's father? Yes, his son threw Ugrasena himself into the prison, and he subdued all the devotees around Mathura. So you have several examples, and then the last line, Bhaktya tushati kevalam, that Madhava, Krishna, will be pleased only by bhakti, nacha gunara, not by some material qualities. Bhakti priyo Madhava, that Krishna Krishna likes bhakti and nothing else. Only bhakti is what pleases Krishna. So this is the message of hope that unites all these stories, that no matter what your position is, high, low, middle, if you accept bhakti, then Krishna accepts you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Raghunath Das Goswami ki jai, Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami ki jai, Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Any questions or comments here?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the lovely lecture and storytelling. One thing comes to my mind, that when these qualities are mentioned, and of course, like the main thing that counts at the end of the day is bhakti, but it seems more like for us neophyte devotees, because if we were advanced devotees, meaning if we had bhakti, then we would automatically have these qualities, no? So could you say something about this?
This is the famous verse by Prahlad Maharaj, Yasyasti Bhakti Bhagavati Kinchana, that whoever has pure bhakti, Yasyasti Bhakti Bhagavati Kinchana Samaste Sarva Gunai Samasate Gunairi. If you have pure bhakti, how is the second line? Anybody remembers this verse? Yasyasti Bhakti Bhagavati Kinchana. If you have bhakti, you have all the good qualities. Sarvair gunai statra samasate sura. Yes. As you say, if you have bhakti, you will have all the good qualities. But sometimes you accept pure bhakti. Sometimes you may accept pure bhakti as your goal and as the process, and it may still take time for all the good qualities to develop and to manifest. Right? So that in that case, and also, if you become a devotee, it's not that you think that, yes, I'm the best. I'm the best, yes. Like, I have all the good qualities. I'm the kindest person in the world. I'm the most merciful person in the world. Show me anybody who is more merciful. I will just kill him and again I will be the most merciful person. Easy. So it's not like this, that you know, you will also not think that you have all the good qualities. So in that case, for this doubt, you can see that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Rupa, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Rupa and Sanatana, they said that we are ashamed to come in front of you because we have no good qualities. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that your humility breaks my heart. You are certainly very qualified. But whether you think you have or whether you think you don't, if you accept bhakti as the goal and you accept bhakti as the process, then Krishna says, you will be dear, you are very dear to me. Again, you know, it's like, are we, you know, we are not supposed to say we are pure devotees. We are not even supposed to say we are devotees. Maybe we are trying to be servants of devotees. Yes, but in the 10th canto there is the story of Akrura. Have you read Akrura? Akrura's prayers. Akrura is famous for achieving perfection through bandhanam, through prayers. Have you read Akrura's prayers? Anybody read Akrura's prayers in Krishna book or in the 10th canto? I remember I was reading, and there at the end Akrura says, "Oh Krishna, I am your pure devotee. So please accept me." You remember this? I remember reading this and I thought, who? He says he is a pure devotee. It is such a taboo. You're not supposed to say you're a pure devotee, right? It's completely against our fashion. I'm supposed to say I am like stool, right? I'm supposed to say I'm worse than the worm in a stool. That's okay. But I'm a devotee? No. Pure devotee, my God, what is this? Did you pass the Bhakta program? Did you get any training at all? Right? But to say, so it sounds like it's a proud statement, I'm a pure devotee, isn't it? Because that's the top in our society. Pure devotee, that's the top of the top. But this being a pure devotee can have two meanings. It can describe the level that you are already pure, and devotee usually will not say, I'm already pure. Or it can describe that you have accepted the path of pure devotion. And then it is humble. You're not saying you're pure, you're saying that I put my heart into this method of pure bhakti. I have my full trust in you, Krishna. You can throw me in hell because of my sins. I am, as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says in the commentary to Apichat Suduracharo, verse in the 9th chapter. He says, I am a black spot on in the society of devotees. You please throw me in hell, but I will never give up your devotional service. So it's not a proud statement, it could be a humble statement. In other words, that I give my trust to bhakti and my goal is bhakti. My goal and my process is bhakti. So in that sense, from the very beginning, you can accept the process of pure bhakti. Like Bhaktisiddhanta Ji, he was publishing a newspaper and in a magazine, The Harmonist, and there was an announcement that next Tuesday, in the evening, we will have a meeting to which all the pure devotees are invited. We will discuss Krishna Katha and we will have some Krishna conscious topics. Would you come? It says pure devotees are invited. Would you come?
Sure, why not?
So again, it's not that you have to be very high. It means that you have to accept that bhakti and not some mental speculation or karma. In that sense, that pure bhakti, that it's the humble acceptance of the power of bhakti, that bhakti is so powerful, that bhakti is the most powerful method, and I need this. I humbly require the power of pure bhakti, because I don't have the pride to practice karma or jnana. I only have some disqualification to get all the mercy of bhakti. So therefore I accept the path of pure bhakti. So this is actually humility. This could be humility. Again, don't make a quarrel out of it with somebody. Oh, I'm a pure devotee, and you should say you're a pure devotee. But it's also good to remember that pure devotion is our process. That's what we are supposed to be practicing. Okay. Something else? About Raghunath Das Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, sweet rice, fruit yogurt.
Where's the sweet rice?
Good question. Where is the sweet rice? Do we have sweet rice today?
Is actually Panihati always the day after Panihati?
I think it could sometimes be 2 days after, because this time it was on Dwadashi, right? I think Brahma Muhurta started too late or something, so that's why by some rules that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained to Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami, we follow it on the next day. So it was technically on Dwadashi. So that's why it comes right now. But I think it's still good, a good coincidence. Sanjay Prabhu? Про что? Этот Экадаши был на Двадаши, поэтому иногда 2 дня. Вина и Chida, Dahi, Panihati. Yes?
You mentioned the heart-to-heart connection between Lord Chaitanya and Sanatana Goswami. And yesterday also you asked a question yourself about how do we know whether we are following the Supersoul or the mind. So I would like to know your own answer to that question.
How do you know?
Yes.
My own.
Do you have some realization which you can share with us?
This is the classic. Okay. How do we know that we are doing right? Basically, I think there is an answer to this in the Mano Samhita. It gives 4 criteria. How do you know you are doing well? And I think you know the answer. This is in our language. This is Guru Sadhu Shastra. Yes. So you read and study enough that you have a tuned heart. Your heart is attuned. Like there is a tuning fork. Ting, it gives this. What is this? G, yeah, sol or la or whatever is this note, and then you attune the piano or whatever the instrument you play. So if you read Srila Prabhupada's books thoroughly, your heart will develop some attunement or taste. This is Prabhupada's mood. So Shastra, and what Shastra says, this is to do, this is not to do. Of course, it sounds simple, but you can always find 2 opposing rules, right? You should never fail to praise Guru in the temple, but you should never praise anybody in the temple. So what do you do? You can always find 2 rules that are opposing. So therefore, 2 more are there. There is your Guru, who says, please do like this, the mood. And then there are sadhus. There are sadhus who will say, do like this, do like that. So these are the 3 criteria. Learned people, devotees and sadhus, Guru or Gurus, Guru Varga, then Shastra, what Shastra says. And Shastra also, it includes not just the collection of rules, but the hierarchy of rules. Like, for example, it says you should never speak as you do puja. Yes? But when Prabhupada came to his god brother, and he didn't stop to speak to Srila Prabhupada, he said he doesn't have a perfect understanding, sufficient understanding, because this is one rule, but the higher rule is to please to respect the devotees. That's a higher rule. Right? So to have the hierarchy of rules is a developed understanding. A neophyte cannot help but suffer, because always some rule will clash. And only by understanding the value system or hierarchy, this is higher, this is a little lower, this is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 5, and then you will see that they don't clash, they just are more important and less important. Then you will be peaceful. And then the fourth criterion is Atmatripti, satisfaction. Then that you follow, you offer this to Krishna, and then you feel, you experience some inner satisfaction. So these are the 4 criteria, sort of confirming that you got it right, you heard it right. So it's sort of Krishna from the heart, confirming, and from the Shastra, confirming, through the Guru, confirming, through the sadhus, confirming. Then you sort of have the quadruple confirmation, four times confirmed. Right? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Simadev Prahlad Narasimha ki jai.